Hey, what's going on, everybody? Good morning. Uh, back at it. Well, actually, not exactly back at it, because I know my last stream I did the Airbus A320 and um, decided to kind of go old school in this one. So we're in the back in the Mad Dog Airbus, not Airbus. Oh my gosh! Wow. Yeah, I'm like still in, well, no, Airbus fever right now. Whatever. Anyway, but yeah, we're MD-83 from or the FlyTheMaddog X. For those of you who prefer the long name of this bird here, so a little short flight to Sarasota. I know the majority of the times I'm usually out west, so figured we'd make a little Florida run, see how things go, follow the thunderstorms in the area and all that fun stuff. So it should be kind of interesting. So without further ado, we'll dive into it. So I pretty much got everything set up in a just a powered up configuration. So really haven't done anything as far as um, preparing for the flight or anything. So this is what we're going to do here. We're going to go ahead and get everything set up and get out of here before we get caught by these storms. Looks like the winds are favoring all of the easterly facing runways, so I'm going to run with 8 right on this one. Or you can do 8 right, 8 left, and then you can do the opposite side as well. I know, just wherever you decide on doing in Atlanta. Of course, we know, well, whatever air traffic control tells you to do, but you know, I mean, that we're not rolling with air traffic control at the moment. We can pretty much do what we want, so that's what we're gonna do. That is what we're going to do. So let's mosey on over here to our flight plan and see what we got. See what we got going on here. So yeah, so runway 8 right, using the Bang 2 departure, transitioning off of Luck direct to, I think that is, I don't remember. Hold on, let me. Oh, I forgot that one because I remember that. I used to fly that all the time. Let's see. So yeah, Seminole. There we go. So direct Seminole, and then we're going to hook into the Egan 1 arrival and fly that in. And right now in Sarasota, of course, there's going to be some convective activity in the area, but you know, it's all good. We'll make it work. Let's see, the winds are 0104, so that's probably going to be 32, I'd imagine. Probably going to be 32. Let's see here. I'll just leave all that on. Let's see. And get your position lights on. And we can open up our bleeds, because we'll need that for engine start and all that fun stuff. So we can just go ahead and open up the bleeds, bleed air valves. All right, so we'll just start from our departure here and work our way out. So we know we're going to be taking the runway 8 right, Bang 2 departure, and transitioning off of Luck. Right to our route. And then we know we're going to be going direct to Seminole, so we'll do direct to Sierra Zulu Whiskey. There and there, and after that, we'll be taking the Tegan 1 or Tegan 1 or whatever you decide to call it, and transitioning off of Seminole. Alright, let's 3-2. And I'm gonna hold off on this. We'll just see how it goes. We might be able to vector ourselves and situate ourselves, you know, depending on weather and all that fun stuff. May have to do some finagling. Alright. And activate that. Go ahead and lock that in. And we are super heavy today. I think we're like, I think the zero fuel weight is like 119,000 pounds. So we are like right there at the 121,000 pound limit for this bird. Which I don't think I've ran it this heavy before. Alright, so we'll go ahead and test our
PA and emergency light test. Emergency light's okay.
Okay. Go ahead and begin the boarding process. And while we're doing that, we'll go ahead and call up. Man, I really wish they'll work on that. Boarding. Delta, of course. And you really don't have to do all this. I mean, I bought GXX for this, so I use it. And, I mean, you really don't have to go through all this. Which I'm sure some of you may already know, but alright, let's go ahead and open that front door there. And I'm also going to try to stream this in 1080, so if it looks terrible, I'm sorry. That probably means my probably means I'm dropping frames or something.
Good evening, ma'am. How are you? I'm doing good.
Are ya? Cool. Alright, so while they're working on boarding, we really can't enter a whole lot of data in here. We can, since we already, honestly know, we can go ahead and enter our cruise altitude of 33,000. We can enter that. And cruise wind, we do have that information somewhere down here. Somewhere, let me look here. Somewhere's it? There we go. Alrighty, let's see. Looks like we'll be 33,000. 059. Man, these winds are like nothing. 050 at 9. Let's see, and -3. And reserve fuel 2.5. Alright. Let's see here. And just kind of do just a brief flow, make sure everything's good. Not worried about the cabin temp at the moment because we're running off external air, so we're good with that. We'll fire up the APU here probably as soon as we jump back in and go ahead and get prepped. I'm trying to save as much fuel as I can because I don't know how the weather's going to treat us. The last I looked, there's some there's a few cells just west of Sarasota heading north, so I don't know what that's going to do, so we'll just kind of have to keep an eye on that. Let's see. We can go ahead and throw in our data here. 135, 140, 147, and should be good to go right there. Now we're not going to use a flex takeoff or an assumed temperature D rate, depending on the company you work for. So we'll just run normal takeoff there. I mean, we probably could flex it on this one. I mean, we got plenty of runway, but I'd rather try to get airborne as quickly as possible. So we'll roll with that. So we'll push back facing to the right and taxi to 83 right and get out of here. I got our speed set in there. And I'm going to run a start pump, fire up the APU. Fire up the APU right there. Get a little slight delay, but just slowly start winding up there. I can hear the bats getting loaded up, so we'll be heading out here in a minute. Let's see, what's that? 3-3. Turn that off there. And we'll go ahead and turn on air supply.
Yes, sir. You're cleared to disconnect. Thanks.
I'll turn on the packs here for a moment. Takes a little bit for the APU to start providing air, but let's go ahead and have that on so it'll be there. They'll be available, you know, when there's the player go. Got good air there. And there's our numbers. So let's see, 0 fuel weight, 119. Alright, now we have that data. We can go ahead and plug it into here. Alright. That's nice and happy. Looks like we're activated. Everything looks good there. And we are good to go. Double check our doors, see what our door situation's looking like. Alright, so that's alright. So for cabin doors, the last thing. We'll go ahead and and that's closing too. Awesome. Awesome. Alright, so let's see. Yep, we got all 3 tanks. So let's go ahead and I get those fuel pumps on. So now we got fuel pressure in the lines. We can go ahead and turn that off. And we'll pull that gate. Alright, gate's pulling there. Meander on over here. Caught this guy to the side. Get our some hydraulic pressure. And while we're on this side, we'll go ahead and tap that anti-collision light. Oh, looks like we're ready to go. So we'll call for a push. Yep, right. No. And we'll wait for a little pushback tug to hook up and we'll get out of here.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
They'll do one quick check here in the overhead, make sure we're good.
Locking gear.
And we'll go ahead and turn off our air conditioning for right now. That way we'll have a good amount of pressure to spin our engines up. And we'll use the System B ignition system
Departure
today.
check completed. Bypass been inserted. Release parking brakes.
Alright, looks like we're good on our end. All the ground equipment's clear, so we'll go ahead and release those brakes.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start that wheel.
Awesome. So we'll make sure we're clear on the right. A little invisible FO says we're clear on the right, so we'll go ahead and roll that right engine. Check her into percentage here and see what she does. About the minimum is 20%. You can do like 20 to 23%. Normally I'll wind them up to about 23%. Make sure we got good airflow and kick the fuel on. So yeah, we're good right there. And Bob will go ahead and hold off to about 23%. At 23 right there. Air condition. Make sure we got good oil pressure. That's coming up. Alright, looks like it's lining out there. So we'll go ahead and close that start valve. And looks like number 2 stabilized, and make sure we're clear on the left. Go ahead and start that left engine. Like I said, we're looking about 20. For example, we'll go ahead and we'll do 20%. We'll do 20% on this one. So we're looking for 20 at 15. 20%, and kick in the fuel. And let's kind of watch that EGT. There we go. Looking good. So go ahead and close that start valve. Turn the ignition off. And we can go ahead and turn off that power from the APU. Turn off the air source.
Set parking brakes.
Alright, so we'll stop, so we'll set parking brake. Close or bleeds. And now we'll do a little action over here. So we'll make sure we got our trim set to our little indicator here. And that'll ensure that our trim is configured properly for takeoff, since this thing is so bloody long.
Unlocking gear.
If you're not trimmed out right, you'll have some problems. So,
Tow truck.
all right, got flaps 15 right there.
Removed.
And we'll do a scan of the overhead, which normally stops about right here because you got to turn on your anti-skid, yaw damper, and everything looks good. So we'll go ahead and turn off that APU. Everything looks good, and then so we'll turn on our
Left is clear.
anti-ice. And while he's still out there doing his thing, I normally go ahead and just get my flight director ready. and press that toga button. Arm and nav mode and all that fun stuff. So we're ready. Alright, so he's waved us off. Give a little wave and bump those throttles just a little bit. Shouldn't take much. And once we get up to a decent speed, I'll roll them back. Yeah, Sarah knows like to dim. And at this point, if you'd like, you can do like a little quick flight control check. Make sure you don't run into any restrictions or anything. Now, which is actually something I kind of wonder, because normally if you do a flight control check, you'll have some sort of indicator somewhere showing the position of the flight controls. But since you don't have that, because your flight controls are like way the heck back there. I mean, all you can really see is a little tab here, so. But I'm sure you'll check them, you know, nevertheless, to make sure there's like no restrictions or anything. And I mean, I guess you will say free and correct, but you can only really verify to make sure that they're free. And I don't know how do you go about checking to making sure they're correct. I don't have a whole lot of experience in well, I don't have any experience in the MD-80, but I'm sure there's a way. It might be something that they include in their walk around flow. I'm not sure. Alright, kind of have to overshoot a little bit because this thing is so freaking long. And we'll kind of go ahead and crank it on over there. Alrighty, got her about set up. So make a little cabin announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're number 1 for takeoff. Flight attendants, please be seated.
Alright, so go ahead and get our auto brake configured. At this point, we're just kind of getting everything set for takeoff. So since we're away from all the employees and all that fun stuff, we can double check to make sure. Oh, that's good. Which is interesting because I don't know if you guys noticed that, but let's see. Weather radar failure indicator here. Which is odd. I didn't get anything on the deferred list, which if it was deferred, which I don't think that's deferrable. You kind of need that, especially down here. So yeah, I guess we'll be rolling with some sea in the void today. Ready? Let's see. Strobes on. Go ahead and turn on our ignition. Both. Since we're not going to have time to do this on the runway, we'll go ahead and set that up. Auto brake set. Because if you are not in takeoff configuration, she will let you know. Try this one more time. That's really weird. Really weird. That's cool. Alright, so we'll go ahead and assume we got our clearance and make sure we're clearing the left and clearing the right. At this point, this is kind of where things get a little busy. Alright, so lined up there. Alright, let's go.
Takeoff thrust set. Clear. 80 knots, cross check. V1, rotate.
Rotate.
Positive rate.
And go.
Gear up, lights out.
Oh, this is going to be awesome with no radar. Going to be awesome. Alright, so let's go ahead and start cleaning up here. Oh boy, you can hear it. Alright, let's go ahead and
Flap 0.
got a master caution, but we'll go ahead and get the airplane stabilized first, and we'll check out. See, okay, that's probably going to be
Slats retracted.
because we used up all the fuel in our sarin tank. And in 1 second here, we'll get this airplane lined out, and we'll double check that master caution. Alright, so we'll go ahead and let auto take it for right now, and then start climb thrust.
Climb thrust set.
Alright, yep, that's all it is. Steering field pressure low. If you look here, it's sitting at 0. So we'll go ahead and flip this guy off, and I'll go away. And we're going to have to be on our P's and Q's here. And we'll go ahead. You know what? I'm gonna leave the ignition on for the moment until we get through this real quick. But I am gonna go ahead and, since everything's manual on this airplane, we're gonna have to adjust our hydraulic pressures here. So we'll go ahead and turn off the oxygen transfer pump here. You'll start seeing our hydraulic pressure falling off. So just a little bumpy. Let's see if we got a wing view here. Alright, let's try the FO side and see if he's having the same problem. So, yeah, so yeah, that is not working. Weird. It's actually quite weird because I tested it before I started the stream. There, I went ahead and did a quick test. Normally, you want to make sure your stall warning is functioning, your max speed, and your wind shear, and your fire control system there. And ran a test on a radar, and it worked just fine. So now it's not working. So yeah, we'll have to just be extra vigilant. Make sure we don't run into that. Looks like we're out of the rough stuff, so we'll go ahead and turn that off. Real quick. And coming out of 11,000, I think our cruising altitude is 33, yeah, 330, so got a little while, and yeah, you can kind of start seeing it now. Which that's one thing I enjoy about this particular simulation is that you kind of, if you have the failure set on, I mean, you do get those random, just random items that just decide not to work. I know quite often, a lot of times you'll get the APU inop, so you'll get a little sticker across there saying that it's inoperative and it's been deferred. Yeah, we're gonna have some weather today for sure. Well, zoom out a little bit. Yeah, we're gonna make it a left turn, like right into all of that awesomeness. Coming out of 15,000, I highly doubt we clear that. And I got a phone call real quick. I'm going to take this, guys, and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Had to take that call. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, so, yep, radar doesn't work. And, yeah, kind of need it right now, so. It's going to be loads of fun on this trip. That's why I love Southeast runs. They just, especially in the summertime, you get those storms that literally come up out of nowhere, so. Kind of have to be, you really got to be on your toes down here, because you just don't know what you're going to run into. I think, like I said, I think we'll be fine though once we get up to 330, and I think we'll be able to make do without our fire radar. Let's double check our pressurization, make sure cabin's climbing nicely, packs are fine. That should be good. And so now we'll just bypass the luck, and then we'll run a direct to Seminole, execute that, and then we'll go ahead and put our autopilot back in nav mode, and she should start tracking, excuse me, towards Seminole. I think we'll be okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn off. I'll go ahead and turn off the fasten seatbelt signs right now, and if we need them, we can just always reactivate them, I suppose. Let's see. So looks like last I checked, it was like 400 some odd miles. So it's like we were 346. So it shouldn't be too terribly bad. So normally this route is ran by an MD-88, but being that American is like one of the last operators to operate, one of the last operators to run the MD-83, which is what this aircraft is a representation of. We're just gonna kind of make do with what we got there. See. I think it was an engine change or something involved on the 88 versus the 83. see. Alright, yeah, looks like we're built the speed. There was a little concern, so I was looking like, wait a minute. We'll go ahead and leave this in leave our computer there in climb mode until we get things situated. Unlike the Airbus, I can't just go and use our weather request function to check on the weather in Sarasota, so we're gonna be kind of winging it, but we'll make do. We shall make do. Man, are we? Let's see. So when it's not bad. It seems like she's struggling to get that. Get the airspeed. Things like 0.75 according to our flight management computer. Yeah, I think that's why it's been so active as far as weather, because there's been no high winds in the upper atmosphere to kind of disrupt some of this, and so it's going to be causing us some problems. Try to avoid that as well. Alright, I'll go ahead and put this guy in cruise mode. Let's see here. Okay, passing that, cool. double check, make sure breaker hadn't popped or anything. No, everything looks good. Yeah, everything's good, so. Passing right by that. And let's see, should we? Yeah, we'll go ahead and. There we go. Let's see. Okay, should be good. Alright, 276 miles out, ground speed of. Let me check that real quick. Alright, 469 knots. So it should be there fairly soon. A sail over there off to our left. 11 o'clock or so. About to hit Seminole in a minute or two, then we'll be heading to heaven there, and I'm really trying to resist. So yeah, we're gonna passing heaven in 63 miles, and from there the clamp. Oops. Oh man. There we go. Hopefully we don't. I'm hoping we don't run into those storms over there, but I don't know. I think we may run. I think we may run right on top of that one. Or in it. Might have to adjust our heading here. Heading shortly. I'd probably do like 140 to avoid that one, because I mean, looking at, you know, where you are relative to the storm, sometimes it can be a little deceiving. It's like, you know, you're looking and you're like, oh, you know, we'll pass right on top of it, and then, you know, before you know it, you're like looking at it, you still, you know, it still may go up another 6,000-7,000 feet. Actually, even better. No. I was gonna make a right turn, but yeah, we'll go ahead and do like 137. 1-3-ish, somewhere around there, to kind of try to get around that. And if we have a functioning radar, we can adjust our elevation to kind of give us a little bit more of a look. I mean, I guess more of like a detailed look as to what's going on with that thing. So, I mean, if we just need to completely go all the way around it, or we can kind of skirt it a little bit. turn this on here. Let's see. Alright, still gotta hit clamp, Lincoln, which I'll take this from somewhere over there on that side. We'll come out a little bit and then we'll probably run direct. Maybe direct clamp. Maybe. All right, let's see. How the wing views that things look. Oh yeah, Florida never seems to disappoint. I mean, every time I come down to Florida, it's always something. A little bit, yeah, they're everywhere. Alright, so we're direct clamp right now. For right now. There's a line right here. Almost as if we need to, it's almost as if we need to kind of head a little more east. What's our fuel looking like? 13,000. According to this, should have plenty on board. Alright, we'll see, make some adjustments. And I mean, it just will not work for us at all. That's awesome. That is awesome. go direct Lincoln. Execute. Yeah, I might wanna. We just got over that one. Yeah, let's see where we're at. We're 58 miles to our top of descent, so go ahead and get set up here. I think we'll. Oops. pretty close to our descent point. I think we should be okay. I'm gonna try to tighten it up a little bit. And let's double check our distance. Yeah, we're 120 miles out, so. Getting close. Yeah, all that could be navigable, but like I said, we don't have the luxury of our radar right now, so we'd rather than not take the chance. But you know, like I said, it could be navigable. We just don't know what's going on inside right now. So we're gonna kind of venture out a little further west and see what happens. All right. Let's go ahead and try to quit clicking the vertical speed button. Alright, yeah, it should be okay. So we'll go ahead and let's scoot it. Hopefully this isn't turning us into something we don't want to get into. So yeah, it's gonna okay. We're good. All right, so let's verify and make sure. Check our, so yeah, once we come out of Murdo vectors, and then our final approach fix is probably going to be that, so 3-2. Kind of like to get the weather. 1 second here, me conditions. Grab the weather real quick, because let's see, okay. Winds 140 at 5, so they did shift a little bit. No, we don't need to hold. Let's see. So ILS looks like it's favoring ILS 1-4, which changes up quite a bit as to how we attack this thing. Jump into our plan mode, we'll zoom in a little bit. And let's see here. Alright, so what we can do, we can just clear the discontinuity and connect Mehar Peso, Peso. Hey, bud, how's it going? So we'll first execute that, and then that, and yeah, it's probably gonna want us to go ahead and resend. Yeah, we're probably like already behind. I'm good, bud. How about yourself, man? Awesome, awesome. Got it installed yet? What do you think? Yeah, version 4 is nice. I will say the 0.3, what was it, version 4.3, it's seems like they've done quite a bit to the lighting, and it's just installing my add-ons. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, 4.3 is it's getting there. So far, I've been really impressed with it. Just, of course, you know, you gotta wait for the developers to catch up. But you know, when everything gets caught up and lined out, I mean, P3D runs pretty good. Oh my gosh, what did I do? Let's see. There we go. Nav. There we go. Pro Plus. Awesome. Yeah, it is pricey. It's pricey, but long term seems like it's going to be well worth the investment. Especially since it seems like, you know, we've been getting a fairly, oh yeah, especially with all the updates Lockheed is putting out for it. What PC specs do I have? Let's see. Actually, I need to update my CPU-Z. Let's see. I'll get you a validation page here. Let's see here. Oh shoot, well, I guess not. Let's see. i7 6700K, running at 4.6 gigs. 16 gigs of DDR4 and GTX 1080, 8 gig of DDR5. Oh man, we're booking it. I don't think we'll tell you what we'll do. Actually, we'll burn a little. We'll burn a little altitude here. do you think these specs? Let's see. Post them, bud, and take a look at them for you. Got speed breakdown, Pentium 1.8. 4 gigs of RAM. I mean, actually, just keep the scenery kind of down to a minimum, and I don't see that being a ginormous issue. You're probably not going to get the. Okay, I was about to say. Whew, okay, awesome. Okay, 7700, 1060. Ah, yeah, perfect. Yeah, you're good. You are good. Yeah, you are good. I will say though, even with those specs, you will run into some places where you just kind of start running into the inherent nature of the ESP based engine that they're still using, and it'll bog down a little bit. I think like normally when I bog down, I'll dip down to like the 20s. Like right now, I think I'm like 40, about like 40 to 70s depending on what's going on. But you know, you'll hit those weird areas. But I mean, for the most part, I mean, the experience is pretty smooth. They are. Performance-wise, believe it or not, probably some of the best. Like as far as in terms of like fluidity, I seem to have pretty good luck with X-Plane. But you know, then again, the way I don't know if it's the way they do their clouds or what, but it's like as soon as you crank up the clouds, you start kind of noticing the difference. Now I haven't tried it since I've upgraded my video card, but I know with my 970 I had, you could tell the difference when you set the clouds to like broken or overcast or something. Yeah, I mean they did a pretty good job in that aspect for sure. It's just the weather engine. If they could just get the weather engine mined out to a point to where, you know, it's quote unquote plausible, I think we'll be in business. But like I said in the previous stream, you know, Active Sky is, I think they're working on something like the end of this year. Don't quote me, but I think I heard the end of this year. So if that's the case, and we end up getting a good engine for X-Plane, then that's gonna change some things. That's for sure. But I mean, ATC, I mean, you got Pilot Edge and stuff like that for that. So I mean, it's not a huge deal, but weather, you know. Let's see, get myself together. Alright, cool. Spike factor, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Alright, so bring those spoilers up real quick. And yeah, we're starting to hit some rain. Starting to hit some rain. Basically, I'm just making a ginormous 360, burn some altitude. I used to have 16 gigs of RAM. Oh, wow. Wow. I'll tell you another good sim as well, as far as like, you know, in terms of optimization, DCS runs pretty, for as good as it looks, it runs pretty good. I've been fiddling around the Hornet on DCS, and I can't help but be impressed like every time I fire it up, because it looks good, and it's like frame. I don't even know what frames I'm running at, but it just feels right. I mean, for all I know, it could be 12 frames a second, but it just feels right. I don't know. I really need to look at it, but DCS runs pretty. It's a pretty solid platform as well, but it's just not intended to be a civilian sim. I'm pretty sure with some touches here and there, I'm pretty sure you can do some things with it, but its bread and butter seems to be fighters, which it does a pretty good job with it. All right, where are we at? 32 miles. Okay, so we're about right. All right, let's zoom in here. Let's go direct to Peso or Pasco, whatever it's called. Throw that, guys. Run one more time. There we go. And we got our ILS dialed up. Instead of brain fart, what was it on? Okay. Let's see, flaps 40, probably 28. Oh yeah, the ILS did change. So ILS, and then 189 would be what we're looking for. If I can get there with all this scrolling. And there. Alright. 11.30, 139 for ILS. Go ahead and crank up those hydraulics. Gonna be needing that. Alright. Ready for landing. Getting some rain today. And the minimum decision height, I think, is like 200, so we'll just set for 200. Just for the sake of argument, set for 200. I don't have the plate in front of me, so kind of guessing. Which is never a good thing, but It's okay in sim, we can guess in sim. Unless you're actually paying for the time, then terrible idea to guess. I was reading an article somebody wrote on the forum and Absim, and they calculated like their amount of like power that they use and all that fun stuff, and all the hardware and software that they use on their simulator, and they calculated that if they were to charge that time, it came out to be about $25 an hour, which that was kind of interesting. I don't know if you can file that on your taxes or not, but if you don't know, charge yourself $25 an hour, probably not, but it would be awesome. Alright, so let's go ahead and arm our arm my last guy, that's there. And since we got such a high flap limitation speed here, because let's see if we look down here, I mean, you can drop what flaps 11 like 280, flaps 15 240. So yeah, we're good. So we'll go ahead and drop to go ahead and extend our slats to help us bleed off some airspeed, and then we'll start walking it down here to about 200 knots. Set this guy for go around in case. Yep, I know. Set this guy up for go around mode in case we need it. And we'll go ahead and let's see what's. I guess this room doesn't have DME. I'm gonna set it for about 180. Yep, I know. Landing gear. Landing gear. And flaps 15. Landing gear. Landing gear. And should be intercepting the ILS shortly. There we go, so we're capturing the localizer, and localizer movement there. Capturing that nice and easy. Got the glide slope coming live. Looking good, so we'll go ahead and walk our airspeed down there to $170. And normally wait for our last little dot there, and we'll hold off for a moment and drop that gear. And see, gear
down.
Oops, there we go. And start bringing that speed down there into our speed, VREF, and flaps 28. Now we'll go ahead and set this guy up for medium since it's probably going to be wet. And arm our spoilers and landing lights on. Go ahead and turn on nose light, and should be good to go.
25.
How do I download this game? Let's see. Check out. Give me 1 second here. Let's see. Prepared 3D. I'll give you a link here. There we go. Copy that and paste that. Head on over there and download the find the license that applies to you in your situation and download it and be all set. And I'm gonna go ahead and take the controls and snap those controls there. You can tell the little, excuse me, the difference in low speed handling because it's a little sluggish because you're flying with those tabs instead of full-blown control surfaces. Start walking out of that speed. Whoa, and there it is. There it is. I'll keep a little power in there, make sure I got my ignition on. And if I can get some wiper action, that'd be great. Cool. Alrighty. It's a little bumpy, but it's like we got her lined out there. I do want to keep some power in there in case we get a wind shear and we'll actually start losing speed instead of gaining it. So I don't know if anyone's tried to forward slip an MD-80, but
400.
Sink rate.
I know.
Glide slow.
Yep, I know.
Glide slow.
I know.
Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow.
140. 30. 20. 10.
Rudder.
Two in reverse.
Little forward pitch there. Get some traction on the nose wheel. Really didn't want to drop the nose that quick, but I figured might as well go ahead and do it. Alright, that's off. Might as well go ahead and do it before we get another gust of wind or something and we start trying to fly again. Alright, let's go ahead and exit the active.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Please remain seated and keep your seatbelts fastened until the fasten seatbelt sign has been turned off. Passengers continuing their journey.
Alright, let's go ahead and
To contact the ground
exit the runway environment and then we'll get everything cleaned up.
even if it is already tagged on its final destination. We wish you a pleasant stay and thank you for choosing our airline.
Alright, let's go ahead and start working those flaps up. Landing lights up. Let's see. Avoid the grass. Bring up the power just a little bit. Lost a little bit of momentum with that. Momentum. That's awesome. Lost a bit of momentum with that turn. Let's see. I need to get my AP on, but I totally can't because I gotta running a rally course here with the taxiways and an MDA. Alright, so I see my gate there in my head, so we'll go ahead and make our way towards that gate. Okay. take a little bit for that to wind up. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. We'll call it right there. Okay. Go ahead and open up our leads. That's off, that off. Go ahead and turn on our little small DC pump there for our fuel to feed our APU. And we'll put these guys to turn off the high pressure bleed for our packs. That's good over there. Then we'll hit our strobe, which I probably should have been done earlier, but it's okay. And then we'll jump over here and turn off our aux now transfer pump. And beacon light off. Alright, cool. That's good. Alright, go ahead and call up the gate, and that's pretty much it, guys. Got a little hairy there on approach, but gotta love Florida weather, so. Why aren't you off? There we go. Yep, there we go. Yeah, I gotta love Florida weather, so you know how that goes. But yeah, so other than that, that's pretty much gonna be it for this one. So, so if you have any comments, anything could have been done better other than the entire stream, feel free to like, comment, and or subscribe. And other than that, fellas, then we'll call it a day. So you guys have an awesome rest of your Sunday, and have an awesome 4th, and I'll see you. Try to get some DCS action up here with the F-18, and do some carrier ops, which I have no idea about, but I guess we'll learn together, and go from there. So till then, guys, we'll keep the blue side up and take care of yourselves.